Hidden from the headlines, away from the cameras of CNN and BBC, a storm is brewing in Africa. A deal worth over $100 billion has just been set in motion. Not by Washington, not by Paris, not by Brussels, but by a group of bold African leaders led by Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré. This is not just another trade agreement. This is a seismic shift in the future of Africa, a deal that could change the destiny of millions, weaken the West's grip, and unleash a new era of prosperity. But here's the question, why is no one talking about it? What exactly is being hidden from the world? And why does this deal terrify the most powerful nations on Earth? To understand this moment, we must first rewind. For decades, Africa has been painted as a continent of poverty, conflict, and dependency. Western media rarely tells the story of wealth, innovation, or bold leadership. Yet beneath the surface, Africa holds the world's richest resources. Gold, diamonds, oil, lithium, cobalt, fertile land, and above all, people. A young, energetic population of over 1.4 billion. But for centuries, these resources were extracted, taken, siphoned away. First by colonial empires, then by multinational corporations. And while billions flowed out of Africa, its people were left with almost nothing. Enter a new generation of leaders. Leaders like Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, a man in his 30s, soldier-turned-statesman, who dared to say no more. Alongside him, Mali, Niger, and now partners from Ghana, Botswana, and beyond. Together, they whisper of something the West fears most, African unity. And at the heart of this unity? A $100 billion deal, hidden from mainstream headlines, but already shaking the halls of power in Washington, Paris, and London. So what exactly is this deal? Sources close to government insiders confirm, this is not a single transaction. It is a multi-layered financial and investment pact, binding together several African nations into an economic bloc with unprecedented strength. Key pillars of the deal include finance, the creation of a sovereign wealth initiative worth tens of billions, pooling gold reserves, natural resource revenues, and foreign partnerships. Agriculture, massive investment in mechanized farming, irrigation canals, and food processing, ensuring Africa not only feeds itself, but exports to the world. Energy and infrastructure, dams, railways, highways, and most importantly, a new power grid connecting landlocked nations to ports. Technology partnerships, deals with China, Russia, and even quiet overtures from Gulf states to build digital infrastructure, bypassing Western tech monopolies. And here's the kicker. Unlike Western loans tied with impossible conditions, this deal is equity-based, resource-backed, and owned by Africans themselves. Think about it. If Africa unites around this model, dependency on IMF loans, French banks, or American aid could become a thing of the past. That is why they don't want you to know. Because for the first time, Africa is saying, we will finance our own future. At the center of this storm stands Ibrahim Traoré. Barely in his 30s, dressed often in military fatigues, he has become the symbol of a continent reclaiming its pride. When he seized power in 2022, many dismissed him as just another soldier in a cycle of coups. But they underestimated him. Traoré did not come to enrich himself. He came with one mission, to break Burkina Faso's chains of dependency. He nationalized key mines, demanded accountability from foreign corporations, and directed new revenues into tractors for farmers, schools for children, and yes, electricity for villages long kept in the dark. And now, with this $100 billion alliance, he is not just thinking of Burkina Faso. He is thinking of Africa. And the youth of Africa? They are listening. But if you think the West is sitting quietly, think again. France has already lost its grip in the Sahel, with French troops forced to withdraw from Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Now, with billions in gold and uranium slipping out of Western contracts, Paris is fuming. Washington, too, has expressed concern, their polite code word for panic. For decades, America saw Africa as a chessboard in its rivalry with China and Russia. But now, Africans are no longer pawns. They are players. And in Europe, whispers grow louder in Brussels that a unified Africa could challenge the European Union itself in global trade. Because here is the truth. If Africa controls its own resources, the world changes. Overnight. This deal is not just about money. It is about power. Imagine a free trade zone stretching from West Africa to Southern Africa. No tariffs. Shared currency. Shared infrastructure. Burkina Faso's gold funding Ghana's cocoa processing. Botswana's diamonds powering new investment banks. Ethiopia's dam supplying electricity to Burkina Faso's industries. An Africa where goods flow across borders as freely as ideas. And this isn't a dream anymore. It's happening. Quietly. Boldly. Right now. Here's what makes this story extraordinary. $100 billion may just be the beginning. Analysts estimate Africa's combined resource wealth at over $1 trillion annually. If even a fraction of that is reinvested, not stolen, not exported, Africa could become the world's fastest-growing economic powerhouse. And the youth know it. Social media is already ablaze with clips, hashtags, and fiery speeches. This is not just a deal. This is the birth of a movement. But make no mistake, this will not come easy. Sanctions, propaganda, destabilization, the old playbook of empire is already being dusted off. Can Ibrahim Traoré and his allies withstand the pressure? Can African unity survive where past attempts have failed? The answer lies not just in the hands of leaders, but in the will of Africa's people. History does not ask permission. It is written by those bold enough to seize the moment. Today, in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Ghana, Botswana, Ethiopia, a new chapter is being written. A hidden $100 billion deal is shaking the old order. And soon, the world will no longer ask, can Africa rise? They will ask, who can stop Africa from rising? Because the truth is simple. The age of dependency is ending. The era of African power has begun.
African Spotlight 24, your premier source for news and current affairs from across the continent. We're glad you're here. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like, and turn on notification to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis. Your support helps us reach more people. Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on credible, publicly available information and is intended for educational, analytical, and informational purposes only. African Spotlight 24 does not promote hate, violence, misinformation, or political unrest. Our goal is to deliver thoughtful insights, highlight local voices, and encourage informed conversations throughout Africa.